Hello and welcome back to the Oaks. Today are going to be drilling some wheat. We've been over this morning and picked up some more seed. We only had 2 bags of what we had before left. Get these put in, or as much of this put in as it will hold. That looks like it. Probably didn't need the new bags of seed. Bringing over, but we're going to need some come the spring. And we also, of course, need to recalibrate our machine there. That will do that nicely. And we can then pop ourselves in wherever the first row is. Get these short rows done at this end. And we are starting on the gorings at this end. We are only putting 300 seeds an acre on. The last field used a lot more, being a heavier soil. But yeah, this soil only using, well, down to 180 seeds square metre. Get this done, then we'll have to get the beans out and the grass field drilled. We're also going to need to spray and fertilise fields that we've already drilled. That's got a bit of an awkward shape at that bottom end. Probably been better drilling the other way, but we're in now. We're set up. So this will be the second field of wheat going into the ground. We did have time to drill first of our wheat fields after you left us from rolling the rapeseed in. Spin our way around. Set the GPS on and down, and away we go for another breed. As I say, these are the shorter rows at this end we're doing first before we move over to the far end of the field where the rows are very short, but doesn't necessarily mean that we will be harvesting the shorter rows in this direction. the tram line on the way back down to the bottom of the field again. This field at the back of the arable farm. All of our rapeseed and our wheat is over at this end of our little empire. The barley and whatever will be at the other end, but do need to expand the farm, but land in this area very expensive. And we also need to improve our fleet of vehicles and also have a few more added to our fleet. This Case Traction King wants to be replaced shortly as well. Getting a little long in the tooth, but still capable of a good day's work, so it's fine for now. Bottom of here, head over to the other side once more. Get ourselves down to the end we want to be at. There we have it. Old church there, or castle, whatever it is behind the trees. Looks like a church. Coming towards the end now of September. We are still on the lookout for another loader for this end. I mean, whether we can get a loader tractor, let's have a look and see if the store has anything in the sales. No, nothing that we need in that, so can't buy a second-hand tractor at the moment to go on a front loader. Down and away we go again. It is now travelling pretty quickly down the bottom of the field. It's on the way back up where we are pulling up a slight hill. when we get to where we want to drill the grass, or unless a grass field comes up for auction we can afford. This is what we've got at the moment. Not using a great lot of seed in this field, not like we did. The one we did across the road off camera, we was right in the red with seeds, putting the maximum amount in, so used a good bit of seed there. She's a bit of a struggle coming up the hill here. Field you see white to our left there beyond this one, that's one of our fields that we also limed. We've got 3 fields limed and a bit of one of the others. Tractor riding behind the sheds a little there. And once again a tram line to go in. As we go down the hill once more. With buying the seeds does take us down below the 100,000 mark, but we've got some wheat to sell and we will also have some soybeans and sugar beet to sell. It should boost our money up nicely for when we come to want to buy a new tractor later. Yeah, 32 metre tram lines, every 32 metres we drop in with the fertiliser spreader or the sprayer. That will continue for a season or two. We may get a big self-propelled job if we buy more land. Go again. It is kicking up some white dust with the lime being on the surface. Having a direct drill means we didn't need to cultivate it in before the seeds went in. Covering a good amount of ground, even though we are slow going back to the top of the field. Sure how well this would have gone if we'd had the horse drill that we had on Carnston, but it's going well with this fader step. Even going up the hills, drops a couple of miles an hour off, but the tractor managing nicely. Not bad for an old tractor from the late 80s, early 90s. Top of here. Again, putting the tram line down. Would have probably been better drilling it the other direction, but we'd made a start before we thought about that snack end at the bottom here to our right. This is a big field, but it's one of the smaller fields in this area of Norfolk. Not struggling quite so much on the hill just here. Excuse me. That's down to 68% of our seed left, which is still a good amount, of course, just over 2 ton of seed in the hopper. Down to 7 miles per hour before we get to the top. That's all down. There we go. Yeah, this is going to work nicely, I think. I mean, if you want to have an in-depth, or a bit of an in-depth look at it, we did a first look. Virtual Farmer's done a first look as well. And he likes this map folder the same as I do, so still don't understand why it's not the giant standard. As I said, there's been map borders worse than this gone on giants on the model. I think you have to look at Welker Farms as one of those. It is based on a real area of Norfolk, this, and it feels like Norfolk when you're driving around it. Spent a few years living in Norfolk. Yeah, this feels like that area pretty much. Going to be a good ways through this before we leave you. Wing ourselves around. GPS on. Down, and away we go with another tram line. Do plan on having someone come and help us on the farm. They will live in the tied cottage over at the dairy farm. Do need to see if we've got a workshop over here at some point as well. Either here or over at the dairy farm. Quickly come into the little snack piece down here, and we could run up to the yard end and start around the headlands. We will be live again tonight, because by the time we get to Wednesday night I won't be at home, going to look after my mum again. And we'll be away until next Thursday. So next Thursday we should be able to get a live stream up and running once again on the Thursday and also on the Friday. Traction King doing a grand job. Almost used half of the seed. We was 100% full when we started today. Not sure how many acres we've got in this field. Let's just have a look. 15.34 acres, and that is one of the smaller fields. It's still a fair bit of wheat going in. I don't know, put 40 acres of rapeseed in the one field, so if a field comes up for auction that we can afford, we need to buy them direct out. A lot of these fields are 2 and 3 million to buy, so will be a pretty long series this, to try and explore a bit more of this beautiful map. Still unbelievable how good a job Fountain Briscoe has done with it being his first ever map. To come in and do a 4x map for your first ever map, adding the amount of detail he's added in, is just mind-boggling how good he's done it. Probably made some maps to run and do private, I don't know. Once again with the tram line. Bit of a misfire on the tractor. Yes, I mean, even looking here and across, you can't see where the edge of the map is, and well, you can, but you can't clearly see where the edge of the map is and the playable area. But for today, that is where we are going to leave you. We will continue on, finish this field off. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please give us a like, give us a share, drop us a comment if you are new to the channel and you'd like to see more of what we do here. Please subscribe to the channel. If you give that bell a ring, it will tell you when our content is available. Until you join us again next time. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you later. Goodbye for now.